All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. You already know what time it is. It is time for another episode of Game Day Countdown with Mac and James. We got a lot to talk about. There were some crazy ass college football games yesterday. Whew, the madness continues.
Yes, sir. Oh man, we're gonna get into it and some more. We're gonna run through the NFL. I'm gonna give you some easy money parlays that should hit, and yeah, we'll get into it.
Let's do it.
Game day countdown with Mack and James. It's game day countdown, round rise and shine. Mack and James with the sports talk line. Big plays, bright lights, teams on the rise. From the first step to the final drive. Big hits, big plays are the highlights. Countdown's on, it's football time. Game day countdown, Mack and James, let's go. Game day countdown with Mack and James.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thanksgiving is over, and now it is time for Christmas season. I hope everybody had an awesome Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody felt real loosey.
All right, yeah, no, same. Hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving. Got plenty of food. Got to enjoy some time with the family. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
that's what it's all about. But let's get into college football.
Whew.
Okay. So it started Thursday with Memphis beating Tulane.
hmm
I wouldn't say it's an upset because I actually believe Tulane was the favorite though, but
hmm
it wasn't by much of a margin.
Yeah,
But for Memphis to come in and win this game, I liked it. I liked
yeah,
it a lot.
definitely.
Yeah, the score was 34-24.
hmm
I mean, it wasn't a complete shellacking. Tulane tried to come back in the fourth quarter. They had 14 points in the fourth quarter.
Right.
So, like, they attempted to make a comeback, but it just wasn't happening.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Right now, the G5 schools have been really, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say like real picky. We've had Army, we've had Navy was in the mix at one point, but Boise State and Tulane out there uh finna to put their name into the G5 spot as well. But yeah,
Yeah. Up next, we have Georgia Tech went into Georgia, and Georgia pulled out the win. Georgia pulled
yeah,
out the win.
yeah,
Okay. As bad as that game was
yeah,
for Georgia, um, them winning it definitely helps. But I don't know, man. For Georgia Tech to come in and start to blow the doors off of them like they did, it was just like again, first half you're going in first half. What was it? 17. Yeah, it was 17 to nothing,
yeah.
and then they scored 6 points in the third quarter,
hmm
and then Georgia scored 21 points in the
Yep.
fourth quarter to tie the game,
Yep.
send it into overtime, and then Georgia Tech scored 15 points in overtime.
Yeah, that they
Georgia
did.
scored 17.
Whew.
So it was just enough to get the win.
Yes. Yeah,
Uh,
that game was absolutely crazy. The fact that it went to 8 overtimes and it was just, Georgia Tech gets on the board, they answer. Georgia answers right back. Georgia gets a stop. They have a chance to win it. They can't capitalize. I mean, there was just so much back and forth with this game. It was like, yo, can somebody just finish the job already?
yeah, yeah. Next up, we had Oregon State going into Boise State. I think we all knew how this was going to go, and it went almost just like that. Genty gets 226 yards.
Yep.
They run away with it. Um,
Yeah, on 37 carries is insane work. And, like, my God, dude.
yeah, no, I mean that guy's NFL ready, and whoever
Oh, yeah.
gets him is going to be a very very happy person.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
They're getting an absolute stud with this guy.
Absolutely. Next up, we have Mississippi State going into Ole Miss.
Mhm.
Ole Miss won. Okay, it wasn't. And I'll say this. First quarter, I was like, oh shit, Mississippi State. Oh shit,
Yeah.
Mississippi State going to steal this one because it was 10-14. But then the second quarter, and then the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, there was no more scoring for Mississippi State.
Right.
So Ole Miss handled their business. They did what they needed to do.
Yeah, that they did. Ole Miss, they had, man. I mean, I know Mississippi State only has like what 2 wins on their year right
Yeah.
now, but I mean, for them to hang tough with Ole Miss, and Ole Miss is going to be in a serious big time bowl game. That's a that was a
It's
hell
a
of a
small
game.
accomplishment.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Oklahoma State going into Colorado, and Colorado getting the goose egg.
Oh yeah.
No points.
Nope.
Now, and I'm not going to be like, yeah, this was a good competitive game. Oklahoma only won 3 games this year, so this wasn't like an Oklahoma State that you know what I mean was running through shit. No, this is a basic ass Oklahoma team.
Yeah. We'll get to Michigan in a bit.
Fuck blue, fuck blue, fuck blue.
We'll get to the game in a bit.
All right. Yeah, Deion Sanders, bro. Again, how to not like him, to not at least say, hey, this guy is a hell of a coach. No matter what your personal feelings are towards him, he is doing an outstanding job with these young guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Colorado took a big time leap forward this season. Mostly the leap forward that I thought Alabama was going to take this season, but evidently not. But what Deion Sanders is doing with Colorado and those kids there is just unreal. And even in one of their losses, you know, they were facing, it was like, oh, you know, now Colorado's going to go on a skid, but he's just like, no, you know, we deserved that loss. You know, we got humbled. Now it's time to really go to work and put the grind in.
Yes, sir. All right. Up next, we have Washington going into Oregon, and Oregon handling business.
Yes, sir.
They outscored them every quarter. It was 3-7, 11-21, 0-7, 7-14.
Jesus.
So Oregon outscored them every quarter.
Yep. And Oregon keeps their undefeated season alive and remains at number 1.
Okay, up next is Michigan going into Ohio State and getting the very big upset.
Yeah,
I will say this and this alone is what Ryan Day is fired. Ryan Day is gone. He
Easily.
is done after losing this game. This is Ohio State has been a second half team all year long. You go back through and you look at it in the second half. That's where most of their points come from.
Right.
Zero second half stats. It's literally they scored 3 in the first quarter, 7 in the second quarter, and not near fucking score the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's just an absolute pathetic performance by Ryan Day, and I've been saying it all year about Ohio State and Ryan Day. This is easily their best chance to get a win over Michigan and end that 3-game losing streak to them. They lost everything to the NFL draft. They lost their head coach, and they're the reigning defending undisputed national champions. They don't have an undefeated season anymore. They went into this game 6-5, and this should have been an cakewalk for Ohio State, but instead they ended up blowing it.
And it's that thing that happens to teams that they just believe they're so good that it's just like all the same. It's going to be a cakewalk. This is going to be easy.
Yep.
And I really feel like Ryan Day and Ohio State players overlooked Michigan.
Yeah.
They overlooked Michigan.
Yeah.
And what you didn't think of and you didn't realize is that this is the biggest rivalry in college football. This is the longest rivalry in college football. And it's just like it's one of those things where, bud, these guys are going to come to play. Yeah. And they did. They did. That second half defense for Michigan was it was stout, to say the fucking least.
Yeah.
And yeah, so for me, it was just like, hey man, bad coaching. This is what happens.
Yep.
You
Absolutely.
lost to an inferior team
Yeah.
because they were just more ready.
Like, yeah, they were more ready, and they didn't even have anything when you compare them to the team from last year. But say la vie.
Yep. Next game up, we have Texas going into Texas A&M
Mm,
and getting the dub.
yes, sir.
This was a trash game.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I watched part of it, and it was like the first half of the game seemed like, okay, Texas moved the ball up and down the field a few times, and then the second half, nothing.
Yeah.
So it was just like palms and sweaty. Texas A&M shit first quarter. Third quarter they score, and you're like, okay, is this going to be a game? And then the fourth quarter is just nothing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. I mean, the
But
fact
Texas
that
got the win. They're
yeah.
11-1. Are they for real?
I mean, we're gonna have to see when it comes for playoff time. Right now, this is their first year in the SEC, and man, they they really held it very well together. Playing in the bar of college football, and they handled it really well. Unlike Oklahoma, who absolutely shit the bed. Um, but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of hype behind this game, and especially with the fact that College Game Day was being held at College Station, and it's like, man, the hype is there, the crowd is there, but the score was definitely not there.
All right. Next up, we have Maryland going into Penn State, and Penn State giving them a shellacking, 7-44.
Oof.
Penn State got in control of this game in the second quarter, and they just did not let up. It was score. And then
Yeah.
the third quarter was a dry out from both sides, but then the fourth quarter, Penn State finished them off.
Yes, sir. Yes, they did. I mean, Big Ten championship is definitely going to be something interesting, and the playoffs are going to be interesting with Big Ten schools that are going to be in there. Who knows what'll happen?
Yes, sir. Up next, we have Notre Dame going into USC, and it was a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, Notre Dame took control, and they were pretty much in control the entire game.
Yeah.
Okay, it was never really in doubt.
Yeah.
But I will say that, I mean, I'll give it to USC. They played a damn good competitive game against a better team.
Yeah, no, this was definitely a good shootout worth watching, especially between these two teams. I saw Notre Dame, like, despite the fact that Notre Dame's only loss was to NIU this season, but how they were able to handle USC this year was it was a very entertaining game, and it did not disappoint.
Next up, we have the second upset of the week. We had number 6 Miami going into Syracuse. And Syracuse handled business, man.
Yes,
I would say this: the third quarter is what completely turned around this game for Syracuse.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, going into halftime, Miami's up 7.
Yep.
I think that's exactly what happened. Miami settled. Miami was like, "Huh, we got this game.
Yeah.
We got this game. There's no issues."
Mm-hmm.
Man, Syracuse came out in the third quarter putting up 21 fucking points. Okay, like Miami did score a touchdown in the third quarter, but that's the whole thing. Like you're going from like you're up 7 points. Now you're down 14 points. And then, the fourth quarter, both teams scored. Miami tried to make a comeback, but it wasn't in the cards.
No,
Syracuse got upset.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't in the cards for Miami to mount a comeback. And Man, this is definitely going to hurt their stock when the new rankings come out. And yeah, the ACC is definitely going to be something worth watching when it comes for the championship game.
Yes, sir. All right. Next up, we have Tennessee going into Vanderbilt. I will say this for Vandy.
Yeah.
That first quarter, I watched the first quarter of that game.
Yeah.
Okay, that first quarter, they looked like, oh shit.
Yep.
They're gonna come in and they're gonna fuck shit up.
Yep.
That first quarter, 17-7, I was like, them boys, they shit. I'm like, yeah. And then for them not to score in the second quarter, the third quarter, and only 6 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like by halftime, I was like, yeah, this game's over.
Yeah.
Tennessee scored 17 second quarter points.
Yeah.
It was like, c'est la vie.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, no, once Tennessee found their rhythm, they did not take their foot off the gas pedal. I mean, Vanderbilt, you got to give them credit where credit is due. They were hanging tough for the first quarter. They were putting up points, and they were giving Tennessee a run for their money. But once Tennessee found that rhythm, it was all over.
Absolutely. Next up, we have Cal going into SMU, and SMU put it down on them, 38-6. Okay. Like, and those 6 points, they got a field goal in the third and a field goal in the fourth. Okay. This is like SMU, 14 points in the first, 7 points in the second, and then 17 points in the fourth.
Oh my God.
I'm not like, they controlled this game. They controlled the game from start to finish. I give it to them. SMU they're looking pretty damn good, and they're 8-0 in the ACC.
That is crazy. Yeah. I think after this win for SMU, they definitely move up in the rankings and possibly secure that spot in the ACC championship.
Oh, for sure.
Especially after a convincing win like this.
Yes. So next game up, Purdue going into Indiana, and this is the Indiana that I want to see. Okay, There's no fucking excuse. I'm just talking about offensive wise.
Yeah.
Okay? I know Purdue is an inferior school. I know they don't have the same talent and coaching. Okay, regardless.
Yeah.
All right. That was a beautiful offensive masterpiece. I mean, they just looked good. But I mean, the entire team looked good in all phases. But I mean, the offense, I was very happy to see them. Okay, 6 touchdown passes, 6. Okay, like, that's all I'm saying is, if you're going to go to the playoffs, this is the type of games you need to have. What say you?
Yeah, for sure. This was definitely a great bounce back win for Indiana, especially after losing to Ohio State.
Mind you, they're 11-1.
Yeah. This is like I said, great comeback win by them, or bounce back win. And I mean, shutting out Purdue 66-0. Like, this is the kind of offensive firepower that y'all need to bring to the playoffs. You cannot let the team gain any momentum whatsoever.
Yes, sir. All right, on to the next one. South Carolina going into Clemson and getting the dub.
Yes.
The best upset of the week.
Mm-hmm.
The best upset of the week, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people were like, yeah, coaching and this, that, and the third, that's going to be the reason why, Clemson wins. Our own boy Andrew
Yes.
on his show said Clemson was going to win. Dabo Sweeney was going to find a way, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They did not. South Carolina stood their asses up, held them nil in the fourth goddamn quarter. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I mean, this game was exciting beginning to end. Even in the first half alone, I should say, I believe it was 7-7 going into halftime, and then that's when the second half really became a hell of a nail biter. Defense for South Carolina definitely showed up big time. Lenore Sellers just doing what he does best. But right now, like he said, if they could get a coach that can help them offensively, man, they're going to be dangerous. But this was definitely a great win by South Carolina.
Oh, damn. Phone's blown up this morning. I put together a parlay this morning. $1 wins you $100,000. And I think it was either an 11 or like 16 game leg parlay.
God damn.
I shared it in the group chat. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, everybody's blowing my shit up. They're either liking it or being like, no fucking way, man. Well, did it say lock parlay or did it say spicy parlay? Because I thought it said spicy parlay.
That's the thing right there. Yeah,
Right.
no, I was still sleeping because the wife and I didn't get home until about midnight.
Sheesh.
Yeah, we had a flight at like 5:30 yesterday, and we got in at like 11. Didn't get home until midnight because we were too busy playing with our cats.
Oh, yeah. Well, up next, we had Auburn going into Alabama.
Is her?
Alabama handled business, but I will say this, like, the fourth quarter, okay, of this game was it was very up in the air. Now, I mean, essentially, Alabama had this one in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Because nobody scored. But again, the fourth quarter made you feel like is Auburn going to get the upset? Are they?
Yeah.
Are they? There's still time. There's still time.
There is
like nothing. So I give it to Alabama. Good win. Good win. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping to see him lose, but I didn't want him to lose to Auburn. So I'm not mad.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, I'm just saying that. That's one bet that I did place this year. It's the only college bet that I have left as far as teams. If it was for Alabama to get more than 3 losses.
Yeah.
But that's now over.
Yep. I mean, it is what it is. A classic Iron Bowl matchup between two teams that hate each other. My honest opinion, one of the top 2 rivalries in college football, with obviously the other one being the game. But yeah, Alabama stood on business. But this, as far as the season goes, I really didn't see them having 3 losses. And yeah, something needs to change this offseason for Alabama. There's no doubt about that.
So there's one thing I will say: all 3 of those losses were to SEC teams.
Yeah, 2 of them were unranked.
I will say that. Okay, next game. Arizona State going into Arizona.
Oof. I don't think that was even a game to begin with.
This was a thump. So literally, it was Arizona State scored 14 points in the first quarter. Arizona scored nothing.
Yep.
Arizona State scored 21 points in the second quarter.
Yep.
Arizona scored nothing.
Yep.
Arizona State scored 0 in the third quarter. Arizona scores 7. Arizona State scores 14 in the fourth quarter. Arizona scores 0. 49-7.
Yep.
It was a bloodbath. Arizona State does look good this year.
Yeah. Arizona.
Go ahead.
Arizona State does look good. It's going to be an exciting off season to see where some players are going to be recruiting to. And, I think with this game and the season that the Sun Devils had, they were like, come to us. So.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's going to be a couple guys that they're going to scoop up now. Because now, like just off of this year and how they've been playing and putting up points. I mean, I'm just, there's going to be guys that are going to be like, oh, you know what, that school is in the Big 12, right? I'm going to have playing time, and I'm going to get to play against the big dogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go. But hell of a win, Arizona State. Next up, we had Kansas State going into Iowa State. Iowa State pulled out the big win. Like they needed this. They needed this. Okay, they had 2 bad losses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now we know in college, especially late in the season, any loss is a bad loss.
Right.
But yeah, after 2 bad losses this year, them coming in and beating Kansas State. Like, I'm not saying Kansas State was one of these better teams, but they were 8-3.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like they were a good football team. They're ranked. Well, they were ranked. They were 24th ranked, and Iowa State 18th ranked.
Yeah. Now they're
Iowa
about to get
State,
the boot out the rankings.
yes, 110% for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, this was definitely a good win for Iowa State and Kansas State. Y'all got some thinking to do, and when you go back to the drawing board this offseason, because y'all were good for a while, and then it was like, what the hell?
yeah. All right. Next game up, we had Houston going into BYU. BYU got the win.
Yes, sir.
I will say this: BYU's first half was good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Their second half was very lackluster, and
Yeah.
and this concerns me a little bit. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because you're in the Big 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. You put up a decent game against Houston, which is a
Yeah.
4-8 team.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 6 Big 12 losses.
Yeah.
You know, and now both of their losses also came from the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they, again, not like they lost to anybody inferior.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know. I expected a better game from BYU,
Yeah.
especially their last loss.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I was expecting something better from BYU, especially with Houston only being a 4-win team. And it was like, yo, if BYU, if y'all want to prove that you deserve a spot in the playoffs, you're going to have to do something better than putting up 30 points and having a real lackluster second half.
Well, I mean, it'd be different if it was like 30-7,
Mm-hmm.
even 30-14.
Yeah.
But 18 points. 18
Mhm.
points. That means they scored at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry, you let a team score 3 times. I know in the NFL you would think, okay, that's not a bad game.
No.
Okay, but in college, when you're supposed to be your top 25 ranked team,
Yeah.
okay, you're
I
playing
mean,
against a 4-win team. You are supposed to demolish. Like that's that. Like if you looked at the betting odds, that's what you would think.
yeah.
And so when it's not a demolish, when it's just like, okay, it was a good win, guys.
Yeah.
Not what I was expecting. I was
No.
expecting a big bounce back, but
Mhm.
again, a win is a win, and it is. It's not like they only won by 3 points or 1 point or 2. Like
Right.
they won by multiple scores, and that's okay.
Yeah, that is okay. And I will say this. Yeah, they still got the win at the end of the fourth quarter, but being outscored 8-6, like you can't allow for shit like that to happen. But yeah, Big 12 having Iowa State and Arizona State was definitely not on my bingo card this season.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, this season was
Well, I know. Hold on. I would say Iowa State. Yes, I know people from Iowa. They were real big on Iowa State this year, more than Iowa,
yeah,
which is usually reversed. People are usually more on Iowa football than Iowa State.
yeah,
But this year, people have been banging the drum for Iowa State, and I've noticed them. So I've been seeing them, and I've been betting on Iowa State.
right.
But next game up, we have Arkansas going into Missouri, and I'll tell you what, man. To be honest, like this was a game. This
Yeah.
was a game all the way down to the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
Okay, Missouri just they had a little bit more in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they really did. Right now for Missouri, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Right now, they're in the bottom portion of the rankings and everything like that. So obviously, they're going to get a good bowl game and whatnot. But yeah, they're let's see what they can do next season.
Absolutely. And again, man, I really enjoyed watching this Arkansas team this year. I look
Hmm.
forward to them having a better year next year. And
Oh yeah,
bro, I mean, I'm just saying.
yeah.
When I said that they were going to win a lot of good games this year, and everybody
Hmm.
laughed at me, and they damn near made a bowl, bro. They damn near made a fucking bowl, man. So,
Well,
but
I mean, hey, yes, they had a 500 season this year, and you know, it's not bad for Arkansas, but much like Arizona State, hey, maybe some people are going to be looking at Arkansas like, maybe they're just one player away from being a contending team.
yes, sir. All right. Next up, we have Nevada going into UNLV. I mean, this wasn't close at all. Okay, the majority of this game. I
Yeah,
mean, pretty much all of this game, it was not close.
no,
Um, it shouldn't have been. Nevada's a 3-10 team. They haven't won any games in their division. They're 0-7 in Mountain West.
yeah,
Um, UNLV, they're 6-1 in Mountain West. They're 10-2. They've only lost to one in division. So I mean, they're ranked 23, but yeah, 38. Oh, sorry, I looked at the wrong 38. Yeah, but yeah, UNLV 38-14. I mean, it was a damn good win. It was a
oh
damn
yeah.
good win. They controlled it all the way through.
Yeah, and this is definitely a score that BYU needs to take notes on because this is the kind of score that we should have expected between BYU and Houston. But
Exactly.
yeah, like only holding them to two scores, but UNLV they stood on business despite the fact that they didn't have their quarterback who they said they were going to pay and ended up we're like, hey, we lied. But good win for UNLV and. Let's see where this goes and leads them to.
Yes, sir. All right. And the last game that I have on my list is Illinois going into Northwestern and getting the win 38-28. I mean, this was a decent back and forth game throughout.
Hmm. Yeah, it was definitely a back and forth game, but I mean, yeah, Northern or Illinois got the win over Northwestern uh, by 10 points. Like let's see. Anyway, Northwestern is a 4-win team, and there's no way that Illinois should have allowed them to score 28 points.
I mean, so I will say this. So hold on. Now I got to do this. Okay.
What's going on,
Uh,
Terry? No, I didn't lose a bet. So my mom retired to Tampa, and she taught me, hey, wherever you move to, whatever the home team is, just support them so long as you don't forget who your real team is. But right now, the way that the Bucks have been playing ever since they got Mayfield, damn, dude's looking like he's back at his Oklahoma days.
yes, sir. Boom. Schedule. Bam. All right. So now we're on to the NFL. All right. So let's do a quick recap.
Yep.
Okay. So we already seen when we did the show last week. We already did Cleveland beating Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Just
that
gotta
was
say it again because it feels so good to say.
he is her.
But
That shit was crazy.
Minnesota going into Chicago and getting the win in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I called for Chicago to get the upset.
Yeah.
They damn near did. They damn near did.
Yeah, they damn near did, and I'm surprised it took this long for Chicago to finally fire
Eberflus.
Eberflus, because literally over that 6-game losing streak, just finding the most asinine ways to lose the game when you had it in your hand. Like, bro,
Yeah.
you're driving down the field with less than a minute. Don't call a timeout. You force overtime with Minnesota, which NFL needs to start adapting to college football overtime rules, because I think that if Chicago regained possession, they definitely would have scored, but that's neither here nor there. They lose on a Hail Mary. They lose to a blocked punt or a blocked field goal. I mean, these ways were just kept blowing my mind.
Yes. They said we had Detroit going to Indy. We all knew that Detroit was going to win that game.
Yeah.
All right. Then we had New England going into Miami. I
They
called for
got their
Miami to
shit
win.
kicked in.
I called for Miami to win. Miami won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 34-15. That was a good win.
Yes, sir.
Tampa Bay going into New York. We all knew this was going to happen. Baker Mayfield was going to go in here and he was going to kill them. And that's exactly what he did. 30-7.
Yeah, that dude is straight up Florida, man. If he got his shit together, but still kept that personality. Like, he does a screen pass to Bucky Irving. Next thing you know, making a beeline downfield, being like, "Hey, Bucky, follow me, I'll block for you." Like, dude, you're not human.
Yeah. All right. For me, the biggest upset of the week, Dallas going into Washington and getting the dub, 34-26. What the fuck? Nobody was fucking expecting that whatsoever. Like, and it's just crazy. It's crazy, bro.
What was it? It was like 10, 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the game's like 7-6, and it ends up being like 36-37 or something like that. I mean, the ending of that game was just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, but all right. Next up, Kansas City going into Carolina and getting the win. Another sketchy, but whatever. Tennessee going into Houston and getting the upset. That's another one.
That is definitely something I didn't see happening.
Me neither. And it's just like, hey, you better watch the fuck out, bro. Will Levis put up 278 yards. Yeah. I'll give it to him. Like, hey, man, if he wants to have a day, he can have a day.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, we were actually just talking about the Chiefs, Terry. It's that Taylor Swift Black Magic type shit. And I've been saying this since they got past 5 wins. The Kansas City Chiefs are easily the worst 10-1 team right now. So I'm not expecting a three-peat from them anytime soon. If they somehow do get it, the rig is definitely in.
Well, see, I will say this though, they're going to get better over the year because they're eventually going to get Marquise Brown off of IR.
Yeah.
So now you have another stud wide receiver to put out there on top of the rest of them. That I don't know. Everybody is. I think analysts overlook it just to sit there and act like he doesn't have a shit ton of weapons. And it's just like, are you seeing the same team I'm seeing? Okay, he's got Kelsey. He's got Gray. That is just like Kelsey as a backup, okay? He's got Watson, who's the backup of the backup, who all three are damn near very similar and play similar. Now you have DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, you got Smith-Schuster. Yes, he's not an absolute stud, but again, when he's going against your third or fourth cornerback or safety, that's an easy win for a good wide receiver, and he is a good wide receiver.
He is. Okay. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and then you have Marquise Brown that can come off of IR. You've got the rookie Worthy. I mean, and again, I know I'm missing one other person that for some reason escapes me. Plus, you got Hunt. Now you got Pacheco back. Yeah, it's again. He's got plenty of weapons, and his offensive line gets away with at least one false start a game. Okay, so that's the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, you get lucky fucking no calls, then you get lucky calls, and then on top of that, like it's mind-boggling, bro.
It really is. Like, I'm just insanely surprised that there have been some teams that have been able to be like, okay, Kansas City is going to lose this game, but Kansas City continues to get bailed out by the rest, and it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, no, I don't even understand how
I don't get it
it
either.
can keep happening. Anyway, next up we had Denver going into Vegas.
I'll agree to that. That would, hey, Lions Bills would feed families though. You gotta understand that would feed families.
Listen. Bills
Yes,
ain't going to no Super Bowl. Okay, especially if they're playing the Ravens in the AFC Championship.
we will see, but yeah, yeah, I agree to this
what,
comment
what
right
was
here.
that
They
score
still should
again?
have
What
lost.
was that score again?
Oh man.
but anyway, Denver got the win, 29-19.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Nix he's looking like he's a damn good quarterback.
Yeah,
That defense is looking stout when they need him.
oh yeah, for
Um,
sure. Bo Nix really putting in an argument to be offensive rookie of the year.
yeah, we'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah,
Because I mean, I will say this: the problem is like the stats are would be what could not get him there.
yeah.
It's because the first quarter of the season he did not have great stats. But regardless, he's getting there. Best of luck to him. Next up
Absolutely.
is San Francisco going into Green Bay and getting their asses kicked.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll agree to this. Yeah, I'll agree. Yeah, that was oof. San Francisco. If there was a time where y'all needed to, stay competitive in the NFC West, this was the game. Unfortunately, it's at Lambeau, and Lambeau is a frozen tundra. I know because I've lived in Chicago, 2 different states. I know, but still the same weather there.
Yes, sir. Next up, we had Arizona going into Seattle. And unfortunately, man, they just could not get it done.
No, this
Arizona,
was
man, it was 16-6. Like,
yeah,
this was a slow ground and pound grind game.
yep.
Okay. Like Murray tried to throw it, and he made some connections, but it was just like he couldn't keep it clicking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say with the amount of injuries that the Niners have been having, like, yeah, it definitely puts Shanahan in the hot seat.
No,
Especially after
he can't be on the
Come
hot seat.
on.
All these
Dude,
injuries.
they're coming off of appearing in the Super Bowl last year, and they have this many injuries. Come on, with that kind of record, come
Purdy
on.
has been out at least 3 games this year. Fucking McCaffrey, your best player, has been out fucking 10 games this year.
Yeah,
Fucking Debo Samuel's out 3 games this year. Brandon Ayuk didn't play the first couple games, then came in, played a couple games, and then got injured. I mean, there's just been a lot of fucking injuries.
yeah.
So
Well,
I mean, that's the only reason why I don't see him on the hot seat is because of all the injuries. Some of these games have been competitive at times, but again, it can't all be on him. Like I said, considering that he's playing with the second and third man up at a lot of different positions, and this isn't just offense; this is defense too.
Yeah,
like he's had 3 cornerbacks go down this year. You know what I'm saying? He's had linebackers go down this year. He's had defensive linemen go down this year.
right.
So all that being said, like you can see it when the defensive tackle went out. Dude, Bosa was getting doubled and triple teamed. He went 2 games without a sack.
Yeah.
So I mean I'm just telling you, like that, all that stuff matters and factors in when you have a guy who doesn't know the game plan as well. Who's just bumping into a starting role when his job was more, practice squad, getting the starting guys ready for the game.
Right.
Now he's got to go in and shit. Now I got to be the one ready to play the game.
Right.
So and it does. It makes it, and nerves, everything goes into it. But again, Seattle got the win. Philly going into LA, bro. Fuck that. Philly was in Philly.
Yeah, they really were.
There was more Philly fans in that motherfucking arena than there was motherfucking Charger fans. They took over. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So seeing that, I was just like, holy shit. Philadelphia is going to win this game, and Philadelphia did win this game.
Not to mention
Saquon
Saquon
had a fucking day.
Yep, a career fucking high for him in that game. But yeah, it was better. It was definitely better for the Giants to let him walk and pay Daniel Jones $160 million over the course of 4 years.
All right, and then the last game of the week for last week was the Ravens going into LA. Ravens got the win, 30-23. Okay, Derrick Henry had himself a fucking day, 140 rushing yards.
Yes, sir.
This man is a goddamn machine. I mean, look, I'm all for it.
Same.
All right. Now
this was definitely a good win for the Ravens, and it just spices up the AFC even more.
So, now we're on to this week, Thursday matchups. Okay, we had Chicago going into Detroit. This was a good game. This is, again, I'm sorry, but back-to-back weeks for Chicago. And I'm telling you, like they are a competitive team. Don't sleep on them. You sleep on them, you're going to lose to them.
Oh, yeah. No, they have the talent. It just needs to be utilized. They have a good defense as well, but that's the only thing Chicago has really had. But this was a really close game. I really thought that when Detroit jumped out to like a 17-0 lead or something like that, that it was just going to be another Detroit decimation. Like, God damn it, on fucking Thanksgiving of all days.
Caleb Williams, 256 passing yards. But Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving.
Bro, those cleats were clean.
They had the cleats. They had Sonic and Knuckles at the arena.
Yep.
It was beautiful.
It was. And these two just going out there doing their thing. I mean, this is a real great running back tandem.
Absolutely. Next up, we have New York going into Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
None of us are surprised that Dallas won.
No.
Okay?
I mean,
we kind of knew that was going to happen. Though. But I will say, okay, at least New York made this semi-competitive. They put up 20 points. I was happy that this was not a bad game to watch. Okay?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that is my highlight on that game.
No, I agree.
Next up, we have Miami going into Green Bay. Green Bay, I called for Miami to win this game, and they did not. This was horrible.
Yeah, I think it's best that Miami just doesn't play anybody north of the Mason-Dixon line, especially during the winter time.
Yes. Let's see. Next up is Las Vegas going into Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, look, I'm not going to say that they got ripped off, but all I'm saying is, okay, one play could change.
Mm-hmm.
You could change one play in this game, and the Raiders win.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's multiple ones you could pick. Yeah. But you could pick just one, and the whole outcome of this game could change.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, it is 100%. Again, there was one false start that was on the scoring drive that should have been called that didn't get called. And again, that right there could have changed the game. We're not even talking about changing the actual play. We're just talking about making a call. So you could change a play, you could or make one single call, and the whole trajectory of this game changes. But regardless, Kansas City gets the win.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't too surprised. I really thought the Raiders could have pulled off upset, but like I've been saying, the Kansas City Chiefs
if the kicker didn't miss, they would have. They would have won.
Yeah. But yeah, the Chiefs are easily the worst 10-1 team in the NFL right now. Maybe even in the worst undefeated team prior to the game against Buffalo in NFL history. They were the worst undefeated team. But yeah, this was I mean, talk about a nail biter. Raiders almost got the win.
Yeah, dude, he missed 2 field goals, bro. two. If he just made one of them, it's a different story. But
Oh yeah.
whatever. We're on to the next one. All right. So
Yeah.
now we're on the matchups for today.
All right, but hey, real quick before we get into it, we're gonna take our first commercial break. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. All right, we are back, and now it's time to talk about today's upcoming games for the NFL and some parlays as well for said games.
All right. First up, we have Los Angeles going into Atlanta. I'm taking the Chargers.
I mean, I want to take the Chargers too, but
they're too competitive not to. The defense is too good not to. Like Atlanta just has been lackluster so many times this year. Their offense has been stagnant. They're like, sorry, Atlanta's just not consistent enough for me to take them.
I think the one thing that is the difference maker that I'm gonna have to go ahead and go with Atlanta. Like I know I got the Bucks hat on and everything, but I'm going with Atlanta because there's one dude on the Chargers that could really make a difference whether they win or lose, and that's their wide receiver Quentin Johnston.
That guy had 6 targets against us. 6 targets.
Yeah, and dropped a pass on what should have been a game-winning drive.
Zero catches.
Yeah.
0 catches for the day.
Yes. So that's what I think is the difference maker in Atlanta getting the win over the Chargers.
Okay. But so who are you taking? You're taking Atlanta?
Atlanta, yeah.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have Pittsburgh going into Cincinnati.
Ooh. I mean, I want to take I'm going to take Pittsburgh, but I think Joe Burrow has himself a day as well.
Yeah, I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Any parlays you got for these games right now?
Yeah. So I'm just going to read off my parlay at the end.
Okay.
Because I actually have one I put together, so I'm just going to read off the one that I have.
All right, sounds good.
Next up is Arizona going into Minnesota.
Oof.
Minnesota's going to win this game.
Oh yeah.
Kyler Murray's going to make this a good game though.
Easily. As long as he can keep finding Marvin Harrison Jr., this game is going to be competitive. But yeah, Vikings are taking this one.
All right. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts going into New England. This is gonna be a cold fucking game.
Yeah,
cold outdoor game. I'm gonna take the Patriots here.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
trust me, they've been practicing outside all week in this weather. They've been very acclimated to this weather. They play outside. They've played outside all year long. They've played a lot of competitive games outside.
Yeah.
I don't think that I think this is gonna hurt Indy because they play in a dome. Yes, outside might be cold, but you don't play outside now, do you?
No, they do not.
They play outside.
They play in a nice warm dome with a turf field. That turf is gonna be hella cold as well. But right now, I could easily see the New England Patriots getting the win. Drake May just continuing to improve, but I mean he's gonna need a few more weapons around him than just going to Ramondre Stevenson or Nikhil Pope.
I mean, honestly, I think that's all he's going to need to do.
Yeah,
I think they're going to have a day running the ball. I wouldn't be surprised to see Stevenson get 80 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Oh, and yeah, he's also got Hunter Henry as well.
Exactly.
So
Next up, we have Seattle going in to New Jersey to play the New Jersey Jets.
hey, say what you will, but it still says New York regardless.
Yeah, no, I'm just giving shit. So my one of my best friends, he's a Jets fan.
Oh,
He is
shit.
not happy. He is not happy. Not
I wouldn't
happy at
be either.
all.
Oh yeah, my stepdad was a Jets fan, and I know he's rolling over in his urn right now.
Well, guess what? The good news is here, buddy. The good news is here. The Jets get the win today against the Seahawks.
I don't think they do. I mean, their season's already in the crapper. At this point, it's like, should we even bother trying?
Not, I mean, it's not in the crapper yet. The whole thing is you can still win 9 games. And
Three wins total.
I know they can still win 5 games. They can still win 5 games.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. They could win 6 games. They could win 7 games. But I'm saying as long as within 5 games, as long as you can win 8 or 9 games, there's still a very slim possibility you could sneak into the wild card, depending on who you beat. Because again, like I said, depending on their schedule, if they can get enough wins to, even if they don't, what happens if they wind up knocking some people out of the playoffs by beating them? I don't know. I just feel like they're at home. Okay, the crowd's going to be going crazy because they're going to be angry. So what do you do with a hostile crowd, especially if you're Rodgers? If you go out there and you start throwing big picks, now you got this hostile crowd who's now happy because now you're doing good. Let's turn it around. Let's turn it around. We can turn it around. And I'm sorry, this is also a Seattle team where Walker hasn't looked good in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, their offense has been a little lackluster. Metcalf ain't Metcalfing. Okay?
That's true.
Smith Najigba is fucking literally the best receiver on this damn team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Geno Smith not making the best decisions regularly. Okay. But and then also you have a rookie head coach.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture. They're 6-5. They're still a good competitive team. I think that they come and play the Jets, and Jets get the upset. It's not even an upset because right now they're even. They're even on the betting lines.
Yeah. I'm still sticking with the Seattle Seahawks, and exactly. Jets really are ass. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is literally pointing the finger at everybody for this poor-ass season that the Jets have been having. He's pointing the finger at everybody except himself.
I'm just saying, it's upset season. If you didn't know, now you know. It's upset season. Teams right now who are being overlooked because of their schedule, because oh, man, this team's only got 3 wins. This team's got 2 wins. I'm okay.
There's no way they go on a winning streak and win enough games to get a sneaky spot in the wild card. There's no way.
Okay. I feel you. But the Texans are only 7-5.
That is a completely different scenario.
And have lost 2 games to bad opponents.
Yeah.
And guess what? What happens if they lose today against the Jaguars?
That's a bad look for them. Sure.
Yes. So my whole thing is,
but Jaguars ain't winning.
8-win teams right now. Yeah, they're pretty much etched in stone. Okay, they have 90-some% chance, 80%, 70% chance of making it to the playoffs. Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, but 7-win teams, they could lose every game the rest of the year, and you just be like, how did that happen? But not saying it's going to happen to every team. I'm just saying there's going to be teams out there that right now have 6 or 7 wins, and that's all they're going to get for the rest of the year, or they might get just one more. So don't be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, we have Tennessee going into Washington.
This is definitely a bounce back win that Washington needs to get, because if Tennessee comes in and loses, that's not a good look for Washington.
Yeah, but guess what? I am going to take the upset.
Ooh, okay.
I'm taking Tennessee. Um, yeah, the offense finally seems to be moving. The defense is they're looking okay,
Yeah.
right? The Commanders are falling apart. They are falling apart quick, and yeah, Jaden Daniels just hasn't been the same the last few weeks.
Yeah,
Like
he's
it's just
definitely yeah.
so him not being the same. It doesn't. I don't know. I just feel like this could be an easy upset for Tennessee. So I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with Tennessee here.
All right. Yeah, I'm still gonna be riding with Washington.
All right. Next up, we have Houston going into Jacksonville.
Yeah, I don't think Jacksonville gets this one.
So for me, I like this is a must win for Houston.
Yeah.
Okay. I will take Houston because I believe that they have better coaching. They have
Mhm.
more talent in that defense. I
Yeah.
believe in Houston's defense. I think they can get at least one or two turnovers. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree. This, like you said, this is a must-win game for the Houston Texans, and they cannot afford this loss to a divisional opponent.
yes, sir. Next up, we have the LA Rams going into New Orleans Saints.
Oof. This should be a good one. Um, but ultimately, I got LA.
Yeah. Derek Carr's supposed to be playing.
Okay.
They're at home.
Mhm.
They're still not completely out of it. They're 4-7.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the Saints here. I'm
Okay.
gonna take the Saints just because LA has looked good at times, but outside of Stafford and Puka Nakua and Cooper Cup and Williams, what has that team been?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, the Fisk, their rookie on the defensive line, dude, he's looking very good this year.
Mhm.
Okay, and I'm not convinced.
Yeah. No,
At
that's
home
fair.
against the Saints, the Saints are
Yeah, New
doing pretty
Orleans
well.
is one hell of a loud environment.
Yeah, and I mean they have weapons, and
Mhm.
it's just the ability of the Saints to where it's just like you're not sure what team you're going to be going up against.
Mhm.
All right,
No,
then
for sure.
we got Tampa Bay going into Carolina.
Mm.
Baker Mayfield, Baker Mayfield, Baker Mayfield, and
Yep.
Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Yep. And yep.
all right. Then we have what I cannot believe did not get flexed to the Sunday night game.
Mhm.
The Philadelphia Eagles going into Baltimore to play the Ravens.
Ooh, this is definitely going to be a good one because I don't know how Philly's defense is going to be able to stop Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the problems. I'm taking
They
the
will
Ravens.
win this game. Baker Mayfield.
So
Whew.
this is the good thing, and this is what a lot of Philly fans are overlooking.
Mm,
The Baltimore Ravens will sell out to stop the run.
yeah.
We will sell out to stop the run. Okay.
Yeah.
We have one of the best run stuffing safeties. Okay. Okay. Man, listen. Okay. There's no way. Okay. We're going to give up 100 rushing yards. We might
Yeah.
give up 80. It could
Hmm.
be 90, but I don't think we give up 100.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I, I,
Uh, I
I,
mean,
I
if look,
say,
yeah. I mean, I know the Eagles do have some weapons outside of Saquon, and Jalen Hurts can also pass the ball, and they also have the tush push. But right now, it's more along the lines of do not let Saquon Barkley get going. If that man finds momentum, then yeah, Philly's going to be one of the reasons, or Barkley is going to be one of the reasons why the Eagles get the win.
yeah, no, that's why I'm saying I think we're going to sell out to stop Barkley
Hmm.
and make Hurts make the throws
Yeah.
because now we have Tre'Davious White,
Hmm.
okay, And now we have Marlon Humphrey's been healthy the last few games, has made big plays.
Yep.
All right, we got our rookie Nate Higgins.
Mhm.
Okay, he's made lights out plays last week, knocked multiple balls out that would have been catches.
Mhm.
All right. We have Stevens, who at times has played like a top 10 NFL cornerback. Has locked down some of the best wide receivers that we've played this year.
Mhm.
Okay, now, yeah, he's given up some catches too, but again, he's out there on the island by himself without safety help. You know what I mean? Not everybody's going to play perfect, but again, he really fucking good. Okay, we got what was his name? Washington. I can't remember. It's like Amari, I don't know, but or a Darius Washington.
Oh, okay.
He's playing like a stud.
Okay.
Right? And that's the crazy thing. I think he's like 5'9" or 5'10". Right? Like 170, 80 pounds.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? And he's out there thwacking guys and making tackles in the open field. So again, our defense has stepped up and gotten better and better and better throughout the season. We are nowhere near where we were last year, but as far as you're looking at our team's defense, the last 3 weeks we have gotten better.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think this game comes down to a battle of the running backs between Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, and just both teams showing each other, hey, we have the best running back. No, we have the best running back. Granted, he's a little bit past his prime, but he's been playing like King Henry since he came to us.
Yeah, 100%. All right, then we have the Sunday night game. 49ers going into Buffalo.
Oh, that's going to be a cold-ass environment. I'm taking Buffalo.
So, I will say this, okay? If McCaffrey has a day, San Francisco wins. Because this is going to be a cold, snowy game.
Yeah.
And guess what? What do you do with a cold, snowy game?
You run.
You run the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Okay? There's going to be a lot of running in this game.
Oh, yeah. We even saw that when
that is the sneaky upset right there.
Okay.
If McCaffrey can have a day, they win. They win. They win. Because as much as I like Cook and as much as I like Allen, them two combined cannot put up the stats that McCaffrey does on the ground when he gets going.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see, but
I'm taking Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo.
Fair
there's no question there. Where's the Monday night game?
Monday night game is
I know what the Monday night game is. I'm looking for it on the betting screen.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm trying to see all the games so I can run the parlay through to see how many we got right.
Right.
Yeah. So Browns going into Denver. Well, yeah. I'm taking Denver. Denver's going to win this game. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be like a 19-21, 18 to 20, something. I don't think it's – I would not bet on over 40.
Yeah, no, game. I wouldn't bet over.
Right now it's 42. Well. I would bet the under at 42. But again, it's still super close where it could hit the over.
Yeah,
by a point.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect win from Denver, but I'm also expecting over 1 or 2 comedic acts from Jameis Winston in this game.
Oh man, you know he gonna break out that jive scripture.
Somebody jump offside! Damn! Like, yo, you're just out there being unintentionally funny, dude.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole point, though, but that is the whole point.
He's still a baller.
Yes, sir. Well, now we're gonna get into the spicy parlay of the week. Boom, boom. Hold on a second. Yeah, wait for this thing to load. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna run through 2 parlays.
All right,
so we're gonna have a receiving parlay and a rushing parlay.
All right.
So first game is gonna be Arizona Cardinals at Minnesota. Okay. I'm taking Aaron Jones rushing yards over. Right now it is 76.5. Take the over.
Okay.
All right. James Conner, his rushing yards is 47.5. Take the over.
Hmm.
And then Trey Benson for Arizona, his rushing yards is 16.5. Take the over. All right. So next up is Chargers at Falcons. We're going to go Gus Edwards. His yardage is 45.5. You know it. Take the over.
Hell yeah.
All right. With Dobbins down, Edwards is going to get probably 10 to 15 carries. He's a north and south runner. I know he used to be on the Ravens.
Okay.
This is a game where if he's going to start this game,
Right.
and if he gets going, they're going to continue to hand him the ball. And realistically, I look for him to get anywhere between 60 and 80 yards this game, and more than likely one touchdown. But take the over on the 45.5 yards.
Okay.
All right. Next game is Seattle Seahawks going into play the Jets. Kenneth Walker, his rushing yards is 60.5 rushing yards. Breece Hall, his rushing yards is 57.5 overall. Okay. Zach Charbonnet is 13.5. Take the over on all three of them.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
Oh boy.
All right. So you're going to take the over on Walker, on Hall, and Charbonnet.
Yeah.
For Seattle and New York and Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, you have Colts versus Patriots. You're going to take Ramondre Stevens over 50.5.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right. Next up is Titans versus the Commanders or Redskins. Brian Robinson's rushing yards, 57.5. Take the over.
Okay.
And then the last leg I have is Tank Bigsby for the Jacksonville Jaguars versus Houston. It's 36.5 yards. Take the over.
Okay.
All right. So the over on all of these legs, which again is Aaron Jones, James Conner, Trey Benson, Gus Edwards, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Zach Charbonnet, Ramondre Stevens, Brian Robinson, and Tank Bigsby. All of these guys bet the over on their yards. Right now it is plus 43,000. All right. It's a 10-leg parlay. I got $3 on it. $3 wins me $1,295.
God damn.
All right.
Damn. Go get that money, y'all.
Okay. So, boom, boom, boom. All right. So, the receiving parlay. All right. First game we're going to do is it's Steelers versus Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Andre Alavzi. We're going to take his over 17.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
We have Darnell Washington for Pittsburgh, over 14.5 receiving yards. And then Jalen Warren for Pitt, receiving yards over 15.5. All right. Then we're going to go to the Atlanta Falcons. Ray McLeod over 29.5 receiving yards.
Hell yeah.
We're going to go to Tampa Bay versus Carolina. We're going to take Rashad White for 16.5 and Chuba Hubbard for 16.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
Then we're going to go to the Vikings. We're going to take Jalen Naylor for over 17.5 receiving yards.
Nice.
All right. Then we're going to go to Titans Commanders. Noah Brown for Washington, over 39.5 yards.
Okay.
Next up, we have Joe Mixon with the Texans, over 19.5 receiving yards. And then the last leg is Kyron Williams with the LA Rams, going 11, over 11 and a half receiving yards.
Reasonable.
Yeah, so this is plus 52,000. Plus 52,000. I bet $1 on it to win 523.
Damn. All
So
right.
again, recap that. That's Andre Alavis with Cincinnati, Darnell Washington with Pitt, Jalen Warren for Pitt, Ray McLeod with the Falcons, Rashad White with Tampa Bay, Chuba Hubbard with Carolina, Naylor with Minnesota, Noah Brown with Washington, Joe Mixon with Houston, and Kyron Williams with LA Rams.
Hell yeah.
All of them bet the over on receiving yards.
Yep. There you go. Hey, go out there and get some money, y'all. Holidays are coming up, and you're gonna need some extra money to pay for some presents.
Yes, sir. And again, these are all $1, $2, $3, $5 bets that I share on here.
Yep.
Don't go out there and throw money away that you don't have.
Yes.
If you can bet, anywhere from $1 to $5, that's fun. It's nice,
Mm-hmm.
But again, don't hurt yourself, don't hurt your family, don't put yourself in a bad position. Never chase your losses.
Yes. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And one thing I've also learned: do not do any like revenge betting. Like you think you're gonna come back and get some more money. No, that just hurts your wallet even more.
Yes, sir. But I can't wait, man. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. I want to watch this game. I am rooting for Cincinnati, by the way. I think Pittsburgh's going to win this game, but I'm rooting for Cincinnati. So don't get me twisted. Like I am rooting for Cincinnati. But we'll see how the cards play.
Mm-hmm. We shall.
But that's all I got for you today, man. It's been a great show, man. Anything else?
No, that's about all I got as well. Holidays are right around the corner. You heard it from the man. Taking $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 parlay bets. Go get yourself some extra cash so you can get some awesome presents for your family.
Yes, sir. Well, another great episode. I'll see you here next week, man.
Absolutely.
All right. Peace.
All right, so another solid episode of Game Day Countdown with Mack and James is in the book. It is NFL Sunday today. Man, oh man, the games that were happening Saturday with the college football games, man, just crazy stuff. A brawl breaks out between Ohio State and Michigan because Michigan planted the flag on Ohio State's logo at midfield. People were even getting pepper sprayed and everything like that. And then another fight breaks out between Florida and Florida State. But I mean, come on, Florida State. After an undefeated season last year, y'all finished the season 2-10. You got some thinking to do. So you really had no business getting into a brawl with Florida. But rivalry, it is what it is. Other than that, be sure to check out Football Frame of Mindset later tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Man, they're going to be going over some of the football games that happened today. They're going to be they're great guys. They know what they're talking about. They love hanging out with them. And then after that, Monday, do not forget to check out Legends of the Squared Circle at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about the history and memories that we've all known and loved from the WWE in the past. And you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a great time. All right. Peace out.